Because of the interview that I did for Channel 4 about a year ago, I received a Macintosh computer and a Canon 30D, and once I received them, the light bulb went off, and it was just a matter of figuring out what was it that I was going to do with them. I have always had a twist to work my photography from a painter-like style, probably the influence and maybe frustrations of not have been able to be as good as a painter as I would have liked to be. So, plus I see it as photography, the meaning of the word photography is painting with light. So that's what I have really in my head when I'm set out to do a series. And a series is not like working one image at a time. So the show tonight is the way that I saw the city when I encounter homelessness. And instead of showing the city as it is, I'm going and seeing it in a microscopic way, in an abstract, illusionist, almost a form to create my own world and cope in a way psychologically with the homelessness status, the attitude of homelessness. It is my first time working with digital. I come from the old school of film, and it's been a very interesting one. I'm getting used to it. And basically all that I had was the Canon 30D with the kit lens, and the Macintosh included iPhoto, which is the mother and father Sunday photographers, and it has very minor adjustments. And I have never been a special effect type of photographer. My photography is very straight, and it's definitely based on the way I see. I can tell you that comes from reading Diane Arbus' biography, that she said the harder the camera was to use, the better the photographs they were. Obviously digital has things that you can do that film would not be able to do. I can tell you that the first 2 weeks it was a battle in my head about trying to work the way that I had worked before in film, which has a very different flow that digital has. Yes, pretty much junk on the streets that nobody would dare to see, and that's a challenge. That was the challenge itself. Seeing things to their most intimate way of looking at them. When you look at the images, they're very minimalistic in many aspects, but then it has the duality that are also complex. And I like that. I like that juxtaposition of reality and a dreamlike way of looking at things. It wouldn't be the first time that I have been asked if they're paintings or drawings, or it is just part of my style. That's the way I look at it. From now on, I think that the abstract world is, one that I want to go deeper, because really all that I have done so far is going to the tip of the iceberg. Before I went into starting the series, I knew that it was going to be an abstract, my next one. The one before I had, and I'm yet to finish, it was done without a camera, just chemistry. And that one was challenging, and then I became homeless, and I had to stop doing it because it required a dark room and things that I just didn't have. So the digital part of it just made it simpler. It made it feasible for me to do. Go out, shoot for about an hour, and that's about really all that I can go out, because it requires so much concentration in the way I'm looking at things, and the compositions, they really have to be perfect. There is no room for error, not 1 millimeter. In fact, as I was shooting them, if I saw any mistakes, I just used my favorite button, delete. Well, my mom recently passed away Saturday, and my dad had passed away 6 years ago, so the show is for them. And aside for them is for the younger generation of photographers, that are out there, that are looking to be inspire. I know that when I was a young photographer, I looked at other photographers as my inspiration point, and it's just that as you get older, reality becomes less interesting, or sometimes maybe painful. I know it's been a painful, dark period in my life, and just trying to create my own road of illumination through the photographs and the journey of producing them. I cannot begin to tell you how proud I am of them. I think it's my most interesting, the one that has the most to say. Although it is in the category of abstract impressionist, meaning that I myself look at things and I get an impression of them, and hopefully the viewer does it too. And my impression of it may not necessarily be the one of the viewer, and that has to do with the subconscious part of the brain. It just triggers different recollections of life.